then it went out again.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh.
Got the hey.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Coming live from 1950 South Shepherd here in L Town, El Ghetto.
Yeah,
I got, you know,
I know.
got my fam on today.
What up?
Uh, where the hell you been at, Domingo?
Where the hell you been?
Um,
Where the fudge
yeah.
have y'all been?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Springtime, right?
Yeah, still a spring. You know, we had the spring meditation this morning.
Happy
When's the last time you've been on?
uh before your birthday.
So, what's more important than us?
Nothing else.
So, where the hell you been at?
It's just my hair. Yeah.
Yeah, doing
My
Mahayot's
skin,
work.
yeah. Just
So, you been with Billy? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Billy Ocean. Yeah.
That's the one.
That's that one.
Well, glad you could come on today.
Bono. Yeah.
The baddest auntie,
The baddest.
the baddest,
Baddest.
the baddest
Bad bees.
ever self-proclaimed.
Bad bees lit. We don't stop. We don't quit.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is Trauma Tuesday.
Yeah.
It is
TT.
Trauma Tuesday today.
TT.
And you know, I thought it was appropriate that we recognize that it is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mhm.
So, you know, maybe we do a little mental check-in. Maybe we, you know, we can read from the reflections,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we'll just make a thing of it,
Mm-hmm.
a thing.
That thing.
Um, so mental health check-in.
Good job.
You know, I'm
Mm.
having a great day. I enjoy the rain.
Brother.
You know, I feel grateful. I feel blessed today.
I hope.
And you know, me and Tatum had a pretty deep discussion about MMIP, you know, her first experience, which I think is a great introduction into what's going on, you know, if she's not aware, you know, which I'm sure she is now, but you know, like that's very emotional, you know, that's a very touchy subject, you know, in Indian country, but at the same time, I think it gives us an open mind into what's going on around us and ways that we can heal. You know, that's a lot of trauma. You know,
Yeah.
speaking about trauma on Trauma Tuesday.
You leaving? Oh, see ya.
Thanks for coming, Bailey.
Bailey, safe travels. Good luck. Good luck. Hey, something.
Yeah, we had Bailey came in and was shadowing for the day, and you know it is funny because she's going to school to be a CNA, right? You know, and she got a crash course on how to be CNA.
Yeah. Not Carl Albert.
A crash course, believe me.
Yeah.
You know, and but you know, we enjoy, you know, we enjoy being able to help out in that sense. But you know, she just left. She's going back to Weatherford.
Yep.
So yeah. So hopefully, you know, hopefully this is the beginning of a great career for her.
Mhm.
You know, my sister graduated from the same school, so
Mm.
you know that's cool. You know that's cool. But
Mhm.
yeah, I hope she has a great. Hope she comes back. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
You know that comeback and diagnosis.
She might. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. But yeah, back to Trauma Tuesday. You know, it's mental health.
health,
You
man.
know, mental health and trauma. You know, I think is a great way. You know, a great subject because you know this could go a million different ways, right?
Mm-hmm. Million reasons.
So you know, but you know, I find myself, you know, contemplating on a lot of these things whenever I get home. You know, I try not to trouble myself with the, you know, the negative that comes with these thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is real easy to get into. You know, when I think about, you know, how my life's been affected by MMIP. But you know, I also think of like, what does that look like to make my community get better? You know, how can we heal?
Mm.
You know, the hurt of one is the hurt of all. You know, just like the healing of one is the healing of all. So,
Mm.
you know, it's been, you know, things been crossing my mind, and I go home and I catch myself thinking about, you know, what my life looks like today and how I can make a positive effect on my community. So, would you all like to maybe just do a little mental health check in with me?
Sure.
Dita, quit
I
trying
know.
to be quiet.
Hey, I know.
Go ahead and yeah, trying to get out, trying to slip down,
Hey, trying to, hey,
trying to disappear.
quit it.
Go
Quit it.
ahead, go ahead. Maybe just tell us, you know, maybe just give us a little bit about, you know, your day, about good or bad feelings. You know, there's no wrong answer here. So.
Well, today I'm doing great. I love the rain too.
Mm.
Like this morning, I was saying whenever y'all were doing the live this morning, I was like, man, I love the way it sounds. You know,
Yeah,
this morning with
definitely.
the roof and stuff. I'm a rain person. I love rain. So to me, it's I like getting out in it. I don't mind, you know, leaving the house when it's raining. Matter of fact, I like sunroofs in my car just so I can watch the rain.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, that's what I like. I love the rain. It's very like relaxing and calming to me and stuff. So, like I was telling Mingo, I sleep every night with rain noises on.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's cool.
Yeah. It drowns out everything else. You know, when I'm ready to go to sleep, I hit that rain on my
Is it like an app or you
on my
just
YouTube, and I just
Okay.
you know, play it on. You know, I used to say like
repeat?
Repeat.
that part.
Cycle.
Yeah, and
That's cool.
yeah, I like it a lot though. So this is my type of season right here,
Yeah.
rainy weather and stuff. Today we went to Oklahoma City Indian Clinic and spoke on opiates and Narcan. It was pretty good. I liked, you know, my first little speaking.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
get used to it.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Get used to it. Yeah.
It was cool. I liked it. But yeah, my mental health today is pretty good. Gonna go with my daughter today. We're gonna get pedicures.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Gotta pamper them poodles.
Yeah. Let him.
Or are they pits?
Yeah, God. Mutt. Yeah.
The purebreds though.
Yeah. The dogless.
Fighters. Yeah. Red nose.
Yeah. Hey, quit. Your last name?
Yeah. These gators. Yeah.
Yeah, God.
Well, that's cool though. You know, that's cool. You know, you get to share a moment with your daughter. You know, that's cool.
Sure.
But overall, I'm having a pretty good day.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Arr.
Yeah. Hey. Quit
All right, Mingo.
it.
Go ahead, Mingo.
Yes. Yeah, Billy Ocean. Yeah. And I'm doing great today. Doing good.
Oh,
What's your?
yeah, good check in.
Yeah. I'm not dead. I mean, I'm dying, but I'm not dead.
Yeah.
No, I think today is a good day. I know a lot of rain was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and when I first meditate, I use like rain noise.
Oh yeah.
And then when it naturally rained, I would go outside and meditate as much as I can. And, I don't know, it's just something about it. Like we was in Oregon. I don't even get to talk about Oregon, but I think the one that stuck out to me a lot was, I don't know, just the forest and the smell, the pine.
Yeah.
Not the other stuff, but the pine and the cedar. Yeah. But I think just smelling that cleansed air and just, I don't know.
Yeah.
it was
Fresh air.
And just able to walk through the woods a little bit. It was like a good, I don't know. That's what stuck out. And seeing the falls.
That connect.
Yeah.
Feeling connected.
That horsetail and
Yeah.
is it Montanoma?
Montanoma.
Montanoma. So yeah. But yeah, mentally I'm doing good.
That was refreshing, huh?
Well, yeah, refreshing.
Like you got to reset.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, seeing haystack and the, you know, the power of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's powerful.
It is. You know how it says in the meditation, the daily, it says that just go outside and connect to the nature.
Yeah, ground yourself.
Yeah, that was
That's
a
cool. You
real
know,
good one.
one thing that my kid's mom always used to say is she would always say nothing grows without the rain.
Mm.
Like you got to weather the storm. And when you come out on the other side, like you live through whatever storm you have to go through.
Mm.
And like she made it sound so simple. And I never really, 'cause when you're in the moment, you're like, whatever, like,
Girl.
yeah, like somebody's trying to hear that, but now that I think about it, like it makes so much sense to me.
Mhm.
Like you got to weather the storm. It ain't always gonna be rainbows, or no. That's what she used to say. Uh, if you weather the storm, then that's the only way you get to see the rainbow. And like I was saying, like at the moment, at the time, it never made sense to me. But now that I've weathered my storm, and I get to experience the all the good things that have, that the storm help, like the rain brought a lot of things to life. That storm going over me, like it brought a lot of things to life. Now that I was able to get through that, so
Mm.
that's another way I like to think about the rain.
Mm. Good one. Good one.
So that's all I got.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for
Yeah. Do we have any comments?
yes.
Resi Desi?
Yeah. No,
Resi Desi.
That's you at right now.
I know. Just
That's
wait.
her name, Resi Desi. She's a harm reduction hottie. Self-proclaimed. Self-proclaimed.
Hey,
You read
hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Tobias.
yeah, it is.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother. That's my
Yeah.
brother, Tobias.
Bias.
Rain White Carter says good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in.
Norman Sheridan. Hello. Good
Oh,
I
Anhas.
know.
His Cheyenne name is Anhas.
Anhas.
Stacy Starr. Afternoon, fellas.
Good afternoon, Stacy.
Sister.
Mr. Stretch himself, she says.
Aye.
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah,
Hey, hold on. Hey,
Huh?
master. Hey, master
Yeah.
stretch.
Yeah. Stress to stretched.
Stress to
Yeah.
stretch. I know. I was like, hold on. Whoa. Hey. I know. It's like, what?
I got scared.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to think about that one.
Yeah.
I had to think about that one for a minute. Own it, Domingo. Own it.
Yeah.
You're stretched.
Yeah. Not stressed.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Lone Bear said good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
World.
Good afternoon, brother.
White
Good
man's
afternoon.
world.
Yeah, he's a welder.
Oh, okay.
He's always at it.
He's in the trenches.
That's
Oh, I thought that said like Wyoming.
yeah.
I thought it was like you. Okay.
Yeah, that's Desiree's uncle.
Yeah.
Resi Desi's uncle.
Winona sent a bunch of laughing faces.
Hey.
I think it's when you start barking.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, sis. Thanks for tuning in.
Good morning or good afternoon, Drew Wilson.
Good afternoon, little brother.
Leslie
Drew.
Beauchamp. Good afternoon. How are you today, brother?
I'm doing good, sis. Thank you for tuning in.
Amix said, must be nice. Yeah.
What, to get her feet did?
Yeah. Your feet did.
He's talking about Oregon.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Oregon, the
Yeah,
woods.
yeah, the woods. Got to go on a free trip.
Talking about my dogs.
God.
Oh, yeah. Yo. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Getting stretched.
yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, brother. We appreciate it.
David Deere said, "Good afternoon."
Stongo
Oh,
David.
Stongo.
Stongo.
Timothy Davis, "Hey bros, I'm leaving Cali on Saturday. I have 2 years of clean sobriety.
Hey, all
Hey.
right.
The Southern Cheyenne tribe of Oklahoma.
Wow. Where you coming back to?
But I would love to be a
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
the tour and get my well
Definitely.
certs if I can get some help from you bros and sisters.
That's
We, I think we could, we could probably look at with a PRSS, to get you in the workforce around here. There's a lot of treatment centers. There's a lot of peer work that you can definitely start looking into, because in California you get your RAD-T. You're a registered alcohol and drug technician. They call it a RAD-T in California, but here it's a PRSS, a peer recovery support specialist. So start looking into what that looks like for you. There's a lot of treatment centers. There's a lot of facilities that need peers. In the workforce. So just a heads up on what that might look like for you. But yeah, White Bison.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Randy Nolene said, "What up, y'all?"
Nothing. Yeah,
Bo saying,
that's my brother. That's my.
"Good afternoon. It's raining up in here in Beeville. Have a good one."
Okay. Bartlesville, the Ville.
Leo Power, what's up?
What's up, my brother? That's my brother Leo right there, over there in Watangaa.
Timothy Davis, good afternoon, my bros.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in.
Mm.
Amick thought he was gonna comment about Barry being musty.
Yeah.
Oh, but hey.
What? Yeah. Hold up. Yeah. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Hey.
Well, we had I'm just gonna move on. Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and move on.
On to the reflection.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump off. I feel like it went with Mental Health Awareness Month, which I think is a huge deal when you're dealing with substance use. As my understanding is, we all came across a mental health crisis, and we thought we found a solution when we turned to drugs and alcohol, right? So from looking at statistics and things like that, and um there's more people diagnosed with mental health problems than there is any other health related subject, or diagnosis or whatever. Like, there's more people diagnosed with mental health issues than anything else. And my mom told me that years ago. My mom was a CNA too. So I like the fact that mental health is becoming like people are bringing it up, and because not a lot of people want to talk about these things. Like, it's a because then you start to look at yourself. And I think it's very important that people look at themselves, not to judge themselves, not to say there's anything bad or anything wrong with it, but it's okay to not be okay. I think that's one major point that needs to be said, is that it is okay to not be okay. So Miss the baddest auntie ever, would you like to
Self-proclaimed. Hey.
self-proclaimed? Oh yeah, I left
Forgot
that part out.
part.
Self-proclaimed.
Okay. The healing of the The healing of one is the healing of all.
Mm.
The healing of one is the healing of all. Interconnected systems have interconnected thinking. I has no power, but we does.
Us.
Us is does. Every choice we make matters. Everything one does as an individual affects the whole. All thoughts,
Mm.
words, images, prayers, and deeds are listened to by all. Our secret intent is visible to all. Happiness is the byproduct of a life well lived. The elders say we are part of a web. I didn't say udders. What we do to each other, we do to the web.
Mm.
When we light our medicine, the spirit in the smoke connects to everything. Our medicine is
Mm.
not limited by distance, but connects to all immediately. In recovery, the 12 steps takes us from being self-centered to interconnected thinking.
Mm.
And every morning, thousands of us in recovery light our medicine, light our pipes, and pray for what is going on in Ukraine.
Ukraine.
It matters. The hurt of one is the hurt of all. When things go wrong, don't go with them. Our energy is linked, our survival is linked, our healing is linked. Love is stronger than fear. My Wilbrighty number is a 9. What is your number?
Mm.
Okay.
I like that.
Mm.
You know, I like the part where it says, you know, when we burn our medicines, basically, like, you know, like I've been taught that my whole life. You know, it's like when you smoke something off, you know, like you bring it to life. And you know, I think that's one thing about our spirituality is that you realize that everything is alive. You know, like we heat up rocks and we pray to these rocks. You know what I mean? Like to I think to most people that would probably sound absurd. You know, like what sense does that make? You know, but these rocks have been around forever. You know, and you know, like these rocks are alive. Like they've seen everything. You know, and they're gonna be here way after I'm gone. You know, like these things are alive, and you know, it's like the healing of one is the healing of all. You know, like what does that mean? Like what exactly does that mean? You know, like how does that help me? You know, in other words, and you know, like I was told, you know, like my brother Dave, you know, Dave Levi, you know, the way, and it was like the simplest thing, the way that he said it. He said that you learn how to work on yourself. Like you learn about yourself. You know, you learn about your defects. You learn about the good and you learn about the bad. You know, and you acknowledge these things, and you know, you ask God to remove all your defects. You know, and you understand that that you're trying to heal yourself. You know, like this world isn't stacked up against you. You know, and you heal yourself, then you start working on your family. And then after your family, then you can work towards your community. And then after you start working on your community, you know, then you can start working on your nation. You know, like that is so powerful to me. You know, because I mean, I feel like that's what we're doing here. You know, I feel like that's what we're doing now. You know, we had somebody tuning in from Standing Rock earlier. You know, somebody tuning in from Bartlesville. You know, like I feel like that's where you know, we get a chance to talk about, you know, the things that are, you know, because even though we're here, you know, I guarantee the same things that are happening here are happening in Bartlesville, are happening in Standing Rock.
Mm.
You know, like the same issues, the same things that are going on. You know, let's start, you know, of course, we all know what the problem is, but you know, let's start talking about what some solutions are. You know, in Mental Health Awareness Month, I think that's a great place to start because it's always got to start from within, right? Like, you know, like the solution, I believe, for me, you know, it had to start from within. You know, it had to come from within here, and I had to recognize, you know, that you know, I don't have an answer for any of this. You know, but what I've allowed is the creator to come into my life and do his job. You know, do what he's supposed to do. But I think the hardest part about that was sitting in my own thoughts, sitting in my own prayers and having the faith instead of having fear. You know, like it says, you know, love replaces fear. And I just, you know, I feel that reading all the way, you know, every part of it, you know, like what's going on in Ukraine. You know what I mean? There's innocent people over there dying, just like what happened to us back in the day. You know, like there's no, like, what is the understanding? You know, I don't understand. You know, but like it says, you know, the hurt of one is the hurt of all. You know, so you know, the healing of one is the healing of all. You know, it's got to start somewhere. So I believe it starts with me. So I mean, what did you get from that reading?
Same thing.
Others? Yes.
It's Auntie.
These.
Oh, my bad.
Hey.
I got the same thing. Like, healing began with me. Like even like when I was in prison, I started healing myself, and then like my closest friends started healing too.
Yeah.
You know, they seen me what I was doing,
Domino effect.
and like we got sober together. We started doing, you know, like programs together and
Positive things.
positive stuff. Even to this day, we're still doing good things together.
Yeah.
You know, and even like within like, you know, family and stuff. You know, I like seeing like my sisters, like Alice and Andy, like all of us used to get high together, and now
Yeah.
we're all sober together, and I love that.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I do see it in the community as well, and it's something to be proud of. You know,
Yeah.
I like it a lot. So, but yeah, that's what I got out of it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think Alice been to a couple of our meetings here.
Yeah, she was telling me she came
Yeah.
out there to the Capitol yesterday. Her,
That's cool.
Yeah, her and Derek. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Mr. Veho?
Yeah, it's a different veho.
Oh,
That's the space in between.
there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I just think I like the medicine and the way we burn it in the mornings. Because with the powwows, we always, before we go out with new regalia or new plumes or eagle feathers, we like to smudge off and
Hmm.
bless it, before we go out into the circle to celebrate life, and because we carry not just us but our family and our traditions and our tribal designs and colors. So I think a lot of that just goes with it. How our protocols, and sometimes if we forget to smudge it, just, well, maybe it's ready for the not this time but next time. So you don't want to. I learned to not rush and be patient, and you get what you get. Don't throw a fit. Hey, but just I don't know. I like, especially my meditation, yoga in the morning. I like to I don't know. Just it's my go-to. My, even if it's just 15 minutes. It's something that helps me in my daily battles. Because I don't know. Lately, it's been kind of doing the dad thing.
Yeah.
Being I know Mother's Day's coming up, and just I don't know. Kind of like, I can see it now. Like the father thing's gonna be put down a lot more hate towards that way, and I'm like, we're not. It's not all of us like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah.
But and then I'm like, what am I
I know
doing?
exactly
wrong?
what you mean.
What am I doing wrong? I know I can't satisfy everybody or everything, but what am I doing wrong? So
Yeah. Yeah. I see that a lot on Father's Day on Facebook.
hmm
Shout out to.
myself or
Yeah. I want to thank myself. I want to thank me now. But you know, when I see things like that, um, I always wonder, like have they ever really looked at themselves and said, what part do they play in that?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Accountability.
yeah, like what accountability are they holding, for themselves? Who's holding them accountable? Like the way I operated is I didn't have to answer to nobody because if I did, I was probably gonna get rid of you. Like you didn't just, like, are you making me feel like, are you trying to make me feel guilty? Yeah. I
Oh, it's my
ain't got time for that, like. So, like I understand they're hurt, but at the same time, like I heard, um, like I heard Tatum say one time, if you stay in that feeling too long, are almost like you must enjoy that feeling.
Mm.
Like you're finding some kind of comfort there, and it's easier. It's easier to do that than it is to look at the accountability part of it.
Right.
Gonna look like without that feeling.
Yeah, like what how who's gonna benefit from you feeling that way? Like whose time are you wasting?
Mm.
Nobody else is usually but your own. A lot of energy goes into negative feelings.
Yeah.
Too much energy. Like my bro Perry, like he says, that's a low frequency vibe that you're putting out into the world.
Yeah.
And love travels like in a high frequency. Like it says, love can replace fear. Love always wins. I always say that. Love always wins. At the end of the day, I mean, it may take. I know it took me. I was in my 40s before I realized. Like what actual love was. I used to think love was, it's love because you do what I say.
Mm.
That's why I love you because you do what I say. And then coming to find out, like love is I love you for who you are and what you do. Whether I'm in your life or not. Like to me, that's I mean, and it took 1,000 failed relationships to,
Mm.
you know, whether it was my own family or a significant other or whatever. Like I had to, I'm the one that had to go through them struggles. So
And I think a lot, like I did a couple of couples like married parenting class,
yeah,
and a lot of it, even though like I kind of knew, but it's good to go no matter what.
it is.
And just learning like the expectations you have of each other, and you don't even tell each other, but you're already expecting that to be there. But
Yeah,
to be able to put it down on paper and look at it and talk with each other about it, it helps a lot more. Like
yeah, for sure. Something about pen to paper.
yeah.
There's magic in when you put pen to paper.
Mm.
Something I don't know what it is. Like I love going back and looking at my notes from when I first got sober. I was kind of impressed. Like, damn, I was actually paying attention. Like I was actually like listening to some things that really touched my heart. When I wrote them things down, and man, there's something magical about putting pen to paper.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I like what the reading has today. And just the whole bit today. I'm glad we got Theta to come on.
Hey.
How was your speaking engagement? Like, how do you feel like that went?
It was okay. It was good.
Um,
It was a small little crowd, so it wasn't like
a room full of,
yeah, it wasn't too
Yeah,
much,
100.
you didn't feel no pressure, nothing.
No.
Just like, is there like, do you feel like there's something mentally that you could be doing to prepare yourself?
um, just I'm just like
Try not to think about it too much.
yeah, yeah that and like on what to say and what not to say. Like
Yeah. Do I sound proper? Am I making sense?
Hmm.
Like I struggled with a lot of those things. But no, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
Go ahead.
saying the right words to the right people, like
Yeah.
on who my audience is. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
say the wrong things and have people offended or
Mm,
take it the wrong way. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like read the room.
Yeah.
mm.
So like one of the things that I like to do even before, we get on here is I like to say a prayer. Like kind of like the set aside prayer in a way, but not exactly the set aside prayer. Just like let me put my thoughts and my words to the side and give me what you need me to say. Like and that has helped me so much. Because there's a lot of times I gotta ask, the creator to come into my mind, come into my thoughts, come into my heart and steer me away from like all these negative things, because I got a mind that works against me
Right.
and it doesn't need my permission to say these negative things. Like it just goes like,
Yeah, like I'm an overthinker, you know. I think
yeah,
too much. Like
I'm a worry wart.
a worry wart.
Rory.
I can't say that.
Rory.
I know.
Worry wart.
So yeah, it does take practice, but like I said, I mean, get used to it because I guarantee you after a few months, you're just gonna be okay, let's get this over with. You know what I mean? Like, because like it doesn't bother me anymore. Like I have the gift of gab in the first place,
Sure
but I used to use it. I used to use it to like hustle people or talk circles around people. Now I like use it. I feel like in a positive way. So now like I feel very confident in the way that the way that I speak, the things that I have to say, the way that I say it. I try to be relatable and I've just made up my mind if I'm not, then I'm not. Like then it wasn't meant for them to hear.
Right.
But if anything, like you were saying, I try to, I want to keep a grip on, I don't want to get too carried away.
What?
Yeah, like because I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean?
Hey.
What do you do, Domingo, before you let it rip?
Oh,
Oh, he's hitting all these buttons. We can't hear the buttons, but
uh, before I start rapping, or
yeah,
hey,
before you drop your mixtape.
everybody from now. I just say a quick prayer and kind of go like try to go over my lines and what I want to talk about. But yeah, definitely prayer for sure, for sure. And yeah, like I said, read the room, read the audience, kind of look around, and working with being meeting Milo Smith. He gave me some points before.
Milo Smith, yeah,
Yeah, so I kind of see read the room and little things,
yeah.
and and then just having the big picture ready, but the little things will come up and bring
The
everything.
grand finale.
Yeah, it'll flow right through.
See, like I'm blind, so I can't even see. Like I can't
You
even.
think that helps you?
I don't even know. Yeah, like it does. Like I don't know if Darian's crying or what right now, but I can't see his face. But like I uh no. She looks. Is she Chinese? Yeah. I'm just kidding, Resi Desi. But I there's like you get so used to doing this.
Mhm.
Like I would have to say I'm mentally preparing like the night before. Like as if I'm up late enough to read the Elder's Meditation, then I'm already like putting it in my head like maybe what I would say. But nowadays I like the fact that I can come to work and I don't have to worry about doing this every single day. You know what I mean? Like now we got the Prevent Your Baddies or the harm reduction hotties around self proclaimed. Like we got them here now. Like y'all You know, it really helps. Domingo we used to do this all the time. It started with Domingo,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and he don't give two
Two what? Hey.
yeah.
Two shivers.
He don't.
Two shivers. Two shimmies. Wait. Wait. What? Oh,
Since you don't even care no
no,
more.
I do. I just been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, hit a roll for me then one time. Roll it.
For the one time.
Wish we had that on the button.
I know, right? Or you could just play it.
Yeah, just getting it. He used to just get it a few times.
When
Right now,
like
Hit it.
do the crab.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it tonight.
Oh,
Zumba tonight.
Well, that's all that I got. Y'all have anything else that you would like to share?
I think that's it.
Done with your mental health check-in?
Yeah. I hope.
Thank you for checking in. Thank you for making me check in.
Yeah.
Check in. Well, thank you again for coming on. You know, I appreciate it. You know, Mingo, hopefully you can come back soon. You know, hopefully you clear your schedule one of these days.
Yeah.
You can come on and do the morning meditation.
Oh yeah.
That would be great, bro.
I know.
We sure do miss you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you were like one of the originals, like
Yeah. One of the Avengers.
one of us in an iPhone, and now you're too busy.
Yeah. They want me. The people.
Hey.
Yeah. They need me. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
he's definitely a big deal.
Well, it was
But
pulled to the sides.
you know, Tatum and the ladies will be on tomorrow for Women's Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
So we appreciate, you know, everybody that tuned in, everybody that commented. You know, it's Trauma Tuesday. We probably didn't touch on the subjects that we probably needed to, but you know, it's just good for a mental health check-in.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is Mental Health Awareness
Just
Month.
talking.
You know, so you know, do a mental check-in with yourself. You know, just kind of come to this understanding that your mental health is just as important as your physical, emotional, and spiritual.
Michael Duncan said, "Love the Raiders hat, bro."
Go Raiders, bro.
Uh,
Yeah, we got a new coach. Yeah, it's our year.
yeah. We had at the Narcan training, we had somebody ask us, what he asked us, where to buy sage, and we said we just pick them in the field, like, and we'll wrap it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got $50.
Yeah.
Give you Indian name too. Yeah, be walking hawk,
What's his name? Said Chakma. What is it?
Oh, Chuck Mom,
walking penguin.
Chakma.
Brian,
Chimichikma,
Byron Johnson,
Halito.
Chuck Mom.
I know he's Choctaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had that
Yuck.
twang. You hear that?
Okay, yeah. Yuck, okay.
Tradition here.
Eh.
No, what is it?
Say? Oh, I told the boss of South Coast that it's going to be a requirement that you wear spandex. Oh, spandex. Yeah, that body.
Spandex tank top.
With my brown socks.
Yeah. He always wears brown socks and it looks like he's barefooted.
They're Nike.
Oh. Yeah.
They're at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah. We better get off here. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Mr.
Isaac,
Duncan.
Joshua.
Yeah,
Eric.
yeah.